Of course, we had our debate last night, and there were things that were left unspoken in body language, and we're talking with our human behavior expert, Mark Bowden, about each of the leaders. Right now, we're just going to focus on Doug, and this was his opening, and I think a lot of people thought he was very stiff.
After 15 years of liberal mismanagement, scandal, and waste, it's time for change.
Yeah, well, I have to agree. It is pretty stiff. He's doing a move there that we often call squeezing the melon.
Yeah.
And it means you get him very tight around these areas, these kind of vulnerable points on the body. And given that he's up against Wynne, who has an ability and training to be very big and very open, it doesn't compare well to her.
And let's take a look. This shot here, I think a lot of people found it stunning. There's no emotion there, there's nothing.
Yeah, so within the fight and flight system where we're under stress, there's a part of it called the play dead response, when often there's this sense of disassociation. Your kind of spirit, your soul, your mind kind of flies off somewhere else. I think he's in that kind of state. He's not really used to the pressure of this, and it's very easy for him to phase out and to check out in order to protect himself in this stressful environment for him.
Now, and at the very end here, how does he look? This is his closing statement.
The Liberal government is desperate to hold on to power.
Does he look more comfortable? Has he settled in at that point?
Well, he's consistent. He's no more comfortable. He's no more settled in. He's still squeezing the melon. He's still tight in there. He hasn't really opened up and shown, look, here's the big open leader that you could have.
And what are people at home interpreting when they're seeing that?
Well, I think it's often not about who you are, but who you're up against. And I think what they're seeing against him is somebody like Wynne, who is much bigger and much more open and even taking up more space than he is right now.
International behavior expert Mark Bowden has joined us to talk a little bit about the body language of the debate. We talked about Doug Ford. Now we're going to focus on, we found this interesting with Andrea Horwath, her responses while the two of them are going at it.
Yeah, so I really love this because what happened is she goes, look, there you have it. You're just going to get these pair arguing. That's what you're going to get if you vote for them. And then you get that lovely little flick of the hair there. She often does a preening gesture when she feels that she's really scored a point there. So you get, there's what you're going to get with those two. And look how they keep arguing. And look how good I am at framing how bad they are. Great framing of the other opponents.
Now, did that come across as leadership there? Then she's in second place in the polls that just came out. Is this her showing some confidence in coming out?
Well, look, it's the other two's to lose. So essentially, she doesn't have to win. She just has to make sure that they lose. And that's what she's trying to do, is go, look, if you vote for those two, you vote for losers. You will lose if you vote for those two. Look how I can frame them badly.
And who is that playing to? Is that playing to her base, or is that trying to reach out to other people?
Well, I think that's trying to reach out to other people. She needs to gain a little bit more, and I think she's going to try and do that by framing the others badly.
You and the developers in the back room about the green belt?
And well, these two hydro bills are going through the roof while these two argue that.
Not necessarily pushing herself as the leader, but going, they're not the leaders, they'll just argue with each other.
And is it working?
Well, I don't know. We'd have to look at some numbers around that, but certainly it stands the chance.
We've been talking with international behavior expert Mark Bowden about the leaders from our debate last night and how they've responded, how they were reacting physically during the debate. We talked about Ford, we've talked about Horwath, and now let's talk about Kathleen Wynne. And this one we're focusing on was when Doug Ford asked that question of her.
When did you lose your way?
Yeah, so when did you lose your way? Really clear, really calm, really assertive, really still. And she is destabilized. You get that little click sound there. Destabilized, stress. Her hands drop in front of her to protect vulnerable areas on the body. But having said that, within a few seconds, within fractions of seconds, she remembers her technique again, and she's up and she's out and she's open. She's kind of now a bit of a past master at this.
She's been doing it a long time.
She's been doing it a long time, and she's had some good training. She's good at it. She goes very, very open and fills the space. But fair play, destabilized.
And do people catch that?
Oh yeah.
Does it register?
For sure, it will register at an unconscious level, for sure. And it could sway some people. It could frame Ford better. It could frame Horvath better. Again, potentially, it's hers to lose. She's the incumbent, so does it frame her badly or frame others better? Could it swing somebody? Again, we need to look at the numbers, but it's a possibility and a strong possibility.
To you, is there any one of the three that stood out from a body language point of view on this debate?
Well, I would say who stood out at the moment is Ford, because he's making some really rookie mistakes here. Yeah, he's not got the experience of the other two in the House or in the media. This is high stress stuff. I think it shows on him right now. He's not trained in some of those countermeasures for stress. He's using some very simple techniques, but not the more advanced and more powerful ones that he could.
All right, still a month to go. We'll have to have you back in when the election happens.
We set it up to make sure that there was control. Means that
no control.
we are not going to support.
There's no control.
We're not going to support.
Mark, thanks very much for joining us. Mark Bowden is an international expert in human behavior. We appreciate you taking a look at the leaders today.
My pleasure. Thanks.